Hey gang, thanks for being here. So if you're exhausted in a way that sleep doesn't really help, and when someone asks you what's wrong, your mind goes blank, this video will probably explain something that you've never had words for. So if we haven't met, I'm Rachel Zabella. I am a medical intuitive and energy healer. Today we're talking about emotional exhaustion, not burnout, not depression. It's a kind of tiredness that comes from being on all the time. So emotional exhaustion doesn't come from doing too much. It comes from tracking too much, tracking moods, tracking tone, tracking reactions, tracking what needs to be said, what needs to be done, what shouldn't be said if you're in a bad situation. And for many women, this becomes automatic. It isn't something that you're choosing. It's something that your nervous system is doing for you. And this is called hypervigilant attunement. And it means that your system learned early on that safety comes from reading the room. So it never fully powers down, right? So when your nervous system stays in a low grade alert state for years, it begins to prioritize regulation over restoration. And that means that your cortisol levels will remain elevated. It means that your body spends much more time managing rather than repairing. It means that your vagal tone decreases. So even when nothing is wrong, your system is still working. And this is why you can feel drained after a normal conversation, a family gathering, sometimes even a quiet day. It still wipes you out, which means that you don't get tired necessarily from doing, you get tired from holding space, energy, emotions. There's a lot of emotional work that goes into being a woman. So why is this common in midlife? Well, in midlife, many women finally stop distracting themselves enough for this to be noticeable. Your roles shift, your kids might be away, you might be working part-time, you might retire, you might have kicked your spouse to the curb. The caretaking many times changes. And so suddenly you realize I've been emotionally working for decades, which isn't a failure. I feel like we women, we always go to failure. It's awareness. It's just your system is asking for a different way to be, is what it is. So energetically, emotional labor pulls your energy upward and outward, okay? Which means you live in your head. It means your chest tightens. It means you might feel like your body is behind you. It's trailing behind you. And first is the brain, first is the head. And over time, this can create things like shallow breathing, having to yawn in order to get more oxygen, jaw tension, yeah, fatigue that doesn't get better with rest, and even difficulty feeling pleasure, and not necessarily just sexual pleasure, but like just, the pleasure that you get from enjoying a meal, or from traveling, or from a really good book. You might just be numb. You might just be like, nothing feels, nothing feels good. Yeah. Energy isn't meant to be constantly projected outward. It's meant to circulate, you know. Um, like I'm demonstrating here. When energy doesn't circulate, exhaustion is what's going to follow. Okay. So see if you can remember a time that you realized that you were managing everyone's emotional experience, or a moment when you realized how tired you felt after doing nothing. Maybe the first time you stopped explaining yourself and felt relief. Let us know in the comments. Let me think of one. I think that most women, if you leave a marriage, you immediately feel this. You're like, oh, that's what was draining me. Um, I feel like once I started putting up accurate, like the correct boundaries in my life with people, I felt relief. And I thought, oh, I was doing emotional labor in these relationships that I didn't need to be doing. Yeah, that's when I noticed it. So let us know in the comments below. What was your moment? So what actually helps? Rest alone does not fix emotional exhaustion. What helps is redistribution. So letting others carry their own emotions, allowing awkward pauses in a conversation where you're not, racing to fill in the space, resisting the urge to smooth everything over. And all of this can feel really unsafe at first. I know, because your system learned safety through management. And now you're asking it to just let things be. Um, this is how energy comes back to you. This is how it comes home when you stop management. So here's a question that you can sit with. Again, I don't like to journal, but this is a journaling prompt if you would like it. If not, just sit and reflect with it. Where am I emotionally monitoring instead of actually participating in my life? Just notice what comes up. You don't need an answer right away. This isn't, anything that needs to be done perfectly. Like we've done enough of that. Where am I emotionally monitoring instead of actually participating in my life? One of the best ways to deal with emotional exhaustion is learning how to create boundaries. And we will be talking about that in another episode. I feel like women who were raised in the 80s, like I was, you were not taught boundaries. You were taught to, yeah, we'll talk about that in another episode. So if you enjoy this video, if you found it helpful, feel free to like and subscribe. If you know somebody who needs to hear this, go ahead and share it with them. Below in the description, you will find links to my workbooks. You will find a link to work with me directly if you feel that you need a healing session to, get rid of all of these long-held emotional labor and you want to restore your energetic flow. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you in the next video.